And it all comes down to this. It's the Wheelwood Breaks B main events for the Open Wheel Showdown. And we're getting ready for your Klotz Open Wheel Modifieds, presented by Cometic Gaskets. The time has come. It's about time to go green flag racing at the bull ring.
And we are going to have our starting lineups for you. On the front row, that would be the 9B of Donovan Barr. Next to him is the 3C of Doug Carpenter.
Windsor, California, Sammy Nuno in row number 2, right beside Lake Havasu, California's William Guerra.
Next, row 3, 57K of Kylie Keown, and the 40 of Dylan Caldwell from Idaho.
Parker, Colorado's John Seeley in the 66S, and out of Nampa, Idaho, the 56 of Miss Rosalie Weller.
One of our many Utah drivers from Salt Lake City, the number 4 of Lynn Hardy, and starting alongside is the 23 of Barry McTavish from Stony Plains, Alberta.
And we're rolling now to the back half. Las Vegas, Nevada's Corey Mears, right side by side with Skylar Mortensen.
In the 0Z, Scott Osborne, and the 29W of Zach Webster.
Trey Stevenson out of Campbell River, British Columbia, and Brian Williams out of right here at Las Vegas.
And then your final row, a lot of work to do, but they can do it in the 86, Matt Eagley, and the 48 of Daryl Dooley.
All right, so that's your field. It's the Klotz Open Wheel Modifieds, presented by Cometic Gaskets, and it's Wheelwood Breaks B mains as we go side by side, Brett, behind that pace vehicle. It's going to exit the track, and they're going to come at you looking for the green flag.
We're looking for the top 8 in this race to transfer out. So the top 8 is what we're looking for as they take the green flag off turn 4 for our first of many events for the Open Wheel Showdown here today on Championship Saturday.
Back-to-back Speed Tour Modified champion Donovan Barr is going to jump out to that early lead off the inside lane, trying to transfer his way in. And then you've got side-by-side traffic, a little rubbing and racing outside the top 3, though.
Yeah, some beating and banging as they come off of turn 4 as they remain side-by-side throughout the field, trying to get things sorted. As we have a car around, the 15 has spun in turn number 2. Caution is out. That is the number 15 of Skylar Mortensen. I believe, yes, the caution is now out. A little bit delayed on throwing that, I believe, but no harm, no foul. Just a simple spin. Did not back into the wall, but looks like he may have gotten out of the groove up into the gray area and kind of just looped it around. But we saw the Bandoleros, they were having issues in turn 2 as well. So same thing with the modified so far. It looks like turn 2 is the trouble area.
Yep, and that's going to bring out our first Nasty Beast Hard T caution of the day. So your modified's going to line up single file. The official's working on getting this lineup right.
Yeah, that's going to be a little difficult because they were side by side throughout the field.
Get this thing back restarted as you see him rolling down the front stretch here, and there's your choose. The cars are going high and low as they pass the orange marker right here on the front straightaway. So keep your eye on your favorite driver. Some of them are going to get a big advantage from this. They're going to maybe gain a few spots before they go back to green, and then there's always that chance that you don't take the right gamble. And look at that.
They are lined up side by side, nose to tail, especially on that bottom line as they come through turns 3 and 4 and get the restart. Looks like they're dead heat there coming into turn 1.
Yep, they rolled through that Serve Pro restart zone, and we are racing one more time. Donovan Barr going to get a little bit of an edge as he rolls down the back stretch, and then we're jockeying for position one more time. The 15 looks low, coming out of 4, and we've got another lap in the books, Brett.
For those of you watching at home, we're again looking for the top 8 when our scoring comes. Oh, we have big trouble in turn 1 and 2. Oh, that's, well, that's actually a lot smaller than that could have been a lot worse than it was.
Yeah, there was.
Actually, involved is the 55 who had the same crash, very similar crash yesterday, right in that same spot. Doesn't look like as much damage as yesterday, but they worked hard to repair that car and unfortunately involved in an incident once again.
Yeah, it looks like maybe Scott Osborne and Zach Webster involved over there as well as a Nasty Beast RT. Caution is out one more time.
It looked like the whole field was going to pile in there for a second, but drivers did a great job of avoiding the ones that were stopped on the racetrack. But there's the damage. Honestly, I think that's the quarter panel that they had to repair yesterday.
So a tough break for the 55
and
there.
He's going to go straight into the work area, it looks like.
Yeah, William Guevara out of Lake Havasu. Zach Webster was spun over there. I'm not exactly sure how involved he was, but he does have to go to the back because you bring out the caution.
Here on the racetrack here at Speed Sport 2 about to show you what happened. And just hit from behind.
Yep, I think Kylie Keown might have had a little bit of contact. We're going to head down to the pits with Drake. What do you got, Drake?
Well, William Guillard able to make his way back out on the speedway. The crew did a quick once-over, but as you can see, as he pulls back out on the speedway, that quarter panel still hanging off the left rear of the 55. Other than that, everything looked good on the William Guillard machine.
On the racing action, I guess you could say.
Yeah. You know, and sometimes you'll see it at short tracks around the country. Sometimes that works out to your benefit, because if everybody chooses the high line, you still have to take the low line. So
And it looks like they are choosing now, and they are waving off the restart. And I see the black flag is in the hand of our official, and he is pointing at someone. It looks like they want them to go to the back of the field. I think that is the 29.
So Webster was involved, so he has to take the low line. Zach took the high side.
He was trying to pull a fast one on race
It was just a mistake,
officials.
right? Yeah. So they are putting Zach at the back. So
now we're racking them up again. Restart coming out of turn 4. We are green, and a great restart by Donovan Barr. He clearly has the advantage as they head into turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, Donovan Barr racing with us out of Nampa, Idaho, but he's got a little bit of company now coming in behind him there. See what he's got. He's got a little bit of side-by-side racing. Ukiah, California's Kylie Keown on the high line, and nearly some contact with Lynn Hardy in the 4. That's a good battle right there on your screen.
Yeah, we're finally getting them single file, it looks like, throughout the field, except for that 5th position that you can see on your screen right there. The 66 taken away, 57 stuck up on the high side of Kylie Keown. She obviously is trying her best to get down on the low side. A little bit of contact there down the front straightaway, but she has a line of cars behind her, and they continue side by side into turn 3 and 4, but she's stuck up there on that high side.
Yeah, Kylie stuck on the high line. Dylan Caldwell, a little bit of rubbing and racing there between Caldwell and Kylie as they go down the backstretch now. So Dylan Caldwell going to move through, and so's that low line, but it's Carpenter chasing down Barr at the front of the pack with 21 to go.
And Kylie's got to be careful there, because if she loses any more position, she's going to be outside of the transfer.
Yep, and this is a pass
This is the
for
transfer
that
right
position.
there.
Yep, Stevenson goes low underneath Kylie Keown, so there's your bubble spot. One of those two right now is going to the big show. The other one's going to watch from the pits.
There you see
tonight.
it on our Speed Sport 2 cameras. They are side by side. This is the transfer position, and they're not willing to give it up.
Kylie driving the wheels off that thing on the high side as she goes through turns 3 and 4, bringing it down the front stretch. Little tire rub there with each other. That's the best battle on the racetrack, Brett.
And it looks like she's trying to pinch the 77 down as much as she can, so doesn't get a good run off the corner, but looks like she had to give that position up, but she might come back and maybe be on the back bumper bar there and maybe get a position.
Yeah, so Trey Stevenson out of Powell River, British Columbia is now in the show. Kylie Keown on the outside looking in as you see a good field of cars coming down there. It looks like your cars in are Barr, Carpenter, Nuno, Seeley, Hardy, Caldwell, Mears, and Stevenson. Brett.
Mears is in that blue 72, looks like struggling a little bit on the handling, a little bit tight off the corners, and the 77 looks like wants to buy, but here comes Kylie again on the inside, peeking out there, but no, couldn't get that run that she wanted.
We got one car headed to the pit area, so a car has retired off of the racetrack.
Oh, contact. Oh, and no, spin there for the transfer.
Kylie might have had a little contact there.
Caution is out.
We'll let the officials figure that one out as a Nasty Beast hard T caution one more time at the bull ring.
So that's unfortunate for Trey Stevenson. Was in the transfer, now will be going to the back. 20 laps, excuse me. 25 laps, so we're 10 laps in, and we've had 3 cautions, so.
Now after caution number, I believe in the meeting this morning, they said after caution number 4, it's single file restarts from then out. So we'll see how that works out too. B main event restart, Brett, coming your way.
Will this be our final restart? I doubt it, as the 4 car gets a great jump on that restart there. That is Lynn Hardy taking the lead out of turn 1 and 2. As you can see, the gaggle of cars for the transfer in turns 3 and 4.
Man, side by side, nose to tail as they roll out of 4 down the front straightaway. Donovan Barr battling for the top spot though. Diving into 1. Lynn Hardy not going to leave him much room, but he leaves just enough for the Nampa, Idaho race car driver to take over the top spot one more time.
Donovan Barr clearly has a strong race car, able to make that pass with ease. As you can see, the cars coming off turn 4. single file except for the 55 and the 98, as you can see on your screen there. A little bit of bumper cars in turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's the 56 of Rosalie Weller there chasing the 55. Oh, and some contact between the 55 and the 40.
Good save there by the number 40.
Dylan gathered it up, but he is going to lose that spot for now.
That is the transfer, in case you're wondering. That's why they're racing like that.
Yeah, Guevara, he is now in the transfer spot. Now we're looking at Rosalie Weller in that 56. She's trying to move her way towards the front and maybe get into the big show.
Your leader is still Donovan Barr, out to I believe, a second lead now as they come back around, but the transfer position, that is where the battle is right now.
Just saw Rosalie and Dylan swapping some paint there right now. Oh, and Dylan Caldwell goes sideways and he's going to get collected.
Oh, no. Oh, he catches off the wall.
Keeps
For a
it out of
second,
there.
I thought that he was going to head straight for that wall on the inside.
Yep, he came down right in front of Mears, and around they go. And a Nasty Beast hard T caution flag is out.
Like I said, I didn't think that was going to be our final restart of the day.
Left rear quarter panel kind of blowing in the wind.
I'm shocked it hasn't fallen off yet. As you can see, our flagman pointing at the choose.
There's a great view of your cars choosing the high or the low line. Day number 2 already, Brett. I feel like we just got off the airplane.
I know, a 3-wide battle in turn 4. Wow, I didn't think 3-wide could work here at the bull ring. And it's not going to.
Not going to. Hard into the turn 2 wall. And that's going to be a tough break. Once they got hooked up, there was not a whole lot they could do.
That way, I saw that coming out of turn 3 and 4. 3 wide, like I said, doesn't work. The track is wide enough, but when you get up in the gray stuff, you can't race.
It looked like Mortensen got hooked up, and then McTavish, you see him there with the window net down. That's a good sign.
They were going for it. You can't blame them for trying. Putting on some great racing action here for the fans and those of you watching at home on Speed Sport 2. This cleanup's going to take a little bit longer than the ones we had. As you can see, that's the hard hit into the wall. We're going to check in with Drake York down in the pit area. I believe he has an update on one of the drivers involved.
Well, we're getting a quick look at the 15 of Skylar Mortensen's car. You can see that right front a little bit more leaned in than the rest of the cars. He was one of the cars, obviously, that hit the hardest down there in turn number 1. I would say he had a harder impact than McTavish into the turn 2 wall. So the fact that car is still rolling is a miracle within itself, but he's going to have to deal with that damage right front for the rest of this B main event.
Joe, I mean, you never know. Attrition could be a big part of this, and you might end up in that bubble spot right there.
So as we mentioned, they are in the single file restart format as they take the green flag. Donovan Barr gets a nice jump as he has all. Oh, we have trouble in the back. Big trouble here.
We got pieces and parts sliding all over.
Bumper bar is going sliding all the way into turn 1. And I'm assuming we'll have to get a replay on it, but when you have it. Just like we were talking about, looks like someone wasn't able to get a good restart. It just stacked the field up, and wow, the 77 on top of another car, and there's that bumper bar flying down the racetrack.
Let's send it down to the pit area to Drake. What do you got, Drake?
Rosalie Weller comes into the work area. Fortunately, it looks like the only real damage on this race car is that flat left rear tire. But now you see them bringing in a second jack, so they're having a hard time getting the rear end of the race car up. So one going pretty much under the rear axle, the other under the rear bumper to try to get this car up off the ground and put on a new Hoosier left rear tire. The crew did a once-over all the way around the race car, and it looked like everything was good on the 56 machine. So once they get this tire off and the new tire on, she'll be good to go.
All right, thanks, Drake. Yeah, they're going for it. There's the Dylan Caldwell machine in the pits under a Nasty Beast hard T caution. Go ahead, Drake. What do you got with Dylan Caldwell down there?
The good news for Caldwell is it looks like the only damage on this car is really cosmetic on the left rear and the right rear quarter panels. All 4 Hoosier tires is up, and you guys talked about it. Boy, things are getting tight down here in the work area. It's not a wide lane to begin with, but especially when you get 3 modifieds back in here too, there it can be calamity. We'll get an update here on the 77 here in just a few moments.
All right, so it looks like Dylan Caldwell making the tow out of Nampa, Idaho, going to be able to continue once things open up down there. The 77, you see quite a bit of damage there too, Brett.
Yeah, you know, those crews work so hard.
Come back to the bull ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as we continue to work through our Klotz Modified presented by Cometic Gasket B main event. These are the scenes back in the work area as Trey Stevenson's team quickly trying to work on this race car. Of course, we talked about before the break the damage on the left front. They've got an impact. They got a 15/16 wrench. They're trying to straighten it out. So far, it looks better than when it started. You've also may have noticed that they've had to take away that front panel just in front of the radiator. So once that work is done here on the left front, they've got to put that back together too. The official just off to the right-hand side of your screen is keeping them updated on how much time they have, but it looks like things are headed in the right direction as they're getting ready to put that front panel back on, and a quick once-over and a few adjustments being made to the right front of this race car. And hopefully, these are all good signs to see Trey Stevenson back out on the speedway in a few moments.
As we bring him through the Serve Pro restart zone at the Bull Ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Donovan Barr out of Nampa, Idaho, going to go green flag racing. Here we go.
And we'll keep an eye on that transfer for you. Doug Carpenter in the 3C is in right now, as you see the battle for the third position.
Yeah, you've got a side-by-side battle there. Kylie going to start to fall back a little bit, but I'm looking at Rosalie Weller down the front stretch in the 56. She's trying to find her way around Matt Egley. And now look at the 55 going through, so Kylie's starting to lose those spots there.
55 with the quarter panel still flapping in the breeze, but not affecting the handling or the speed on that race car.
Yeah, and I'm starting to notice maybe just a little bit of a inside on the left rear. Kylie's car, that fender's starting to rub that tire a little bit. So for her sake, hopefully these 7 laps go by pretty quick so they can get that thing straightened out as well.
And for you Trey Stevenson fans, able so far to only make up 1 position, but has dropped back far away from the transfer spot. It looks like maybe the handling not quite there on the race car following those incidents.
Yeah, you've got kind of a natural gap there on the backstretch between Kylie Keown, who's going to the show, and there goes Stevenson down low underneath Matt Egley. Rosalie Weller going to try to go with them as they roll out of turn number 4. There's a lot of open real estate between the last 3 and the top 8.
Yes, these 3 that you see on your screen, they have to race their way in. Right now, they are out of the main event for the Modifieds in the Open Wheel Showdown.
4 laps to go. Speed Sport 2 fans getting a great look, just like the folks here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway Bull Ring. The back 3, they're just doing all they can. Up front, though, now, Brett, like we talked about last week, do you just hang tight? You know you're in. Let's get to the big 75 lapper, or are you still going to try to pass for some position like Zach Webster in the 66?
I was going to say, I thought I would just stake there, but you can see Zach Webster in the 66 making the pass there down the backstretch as they're side by side into turn 3. Looks like that's going to be a good clean pass there.
Yeah, so Seeley going to take that position there. They're still in the show. They've still got about a half a straightaway advantage between Kylie and Stevenson, so your laps are winding down, and we're going to get a windshield full of the white flag this time.
Yes, white flag is finally out on this event, and everyone is single file. It doesn't look like we're going to see any change for that transfer position. So you can see on your screen at home, the top 3 or the top 8 above that green line will take transfer in as Donovan Barr takes the win here in the B main.
So a great run by Donovan Barr. They had high hopes coming in. Yesterday didn't go quite the way that they wanted, but they are kicking off this night the way that they would love to do. Donovan Barr, Sammy Nuno, William Guevara, John Seeley, Doug Carpenter, Zach Webster, Lynn Hardy, and Ukiah, California's Kylie Keown are going to the 75-lap main event. They're going to have to start at the back of that pack. We watched the lineups in the heat races yesterday, but at least they've made the show. Oh, head on down there. Drake has Kylie with him.
Kylie Keown, your 8th and final transfer out of that wild modified B main event. And Kylie, you're trying to make the high side work. You had contact with a few other drivers. It was just chaos for you in this 57K. Take us through it.
I don't know. It was pretty crazy out there. I tried to keep my nose clean as best as possible, but things happen, and we're lucky to be in the A main now.
Indeed, she is in the big show. Your 8th and final transfer out of your B main event tonight with the Klotz Modifieds.